You got what you want, but now what can you get?
Get that stuff out of here! It's Southwest Bias!
Welcome into another edition of Southwest Bias, brought to you by our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. And we are live from Studio K. Got the point right again. Brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading that Circle K app. Sometimes in life, you get exactly what you've asked for. Sometimes in life, you get something you didn't expect, and it can turn into exactly what you need. Other times in life, you don't get either. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals have Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback. Most didn't expect it coming into this year. Some asked for it during the year. But the question is it going to be a good thing, or is it going to be one of those things that you get and you wish you could return? The Arizona Cardinals have to prove this weekend that they still have life. They have to go into Seattle and show that they actually are a team that is not just tanking, that is not just playing for a draft pick, that isn't going to go quietly into that night, but instead want to make a late season run and bring some noise and some interest to the Valley. Can they do it? Kurt Warner called Jacoby Brissett one of the best backup quarterbacks and a really good quarterback in general, yet on Wednesday on PHNX Cardinals. But can he step up and be that guy? He's had a calming presence with this team. He is built, or rather the offense is built for a guy with his skill set. And the underrated thing that I think is the unspoken thing so far is the relationship that he's built with Marvin Harrison Jr. For the better part of the season, he had been playing sparingly. Didn't really play until 3 games ago. But on the practice field, he was out there throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. so he could get extra work. Marv was asking him to throw certain routes that he wanted. And he was helping Marvin Harrison Jr. build that confidence, keep his head up as things were going poorly. I remember that game where Marvin Harrison was struggling mightily, had that fumble, and going into halftime, you saw Jacoby Brissett walk up to him and pat him on the shoulder and talk to him. And it seemed like it was the old, hang in there. Things are going to be all right. We all go through these moments. I think that relationship could help us see Marvin Harrison Jr. blossom. What you saw Monday night in Dallas was a coming out party of sorts. He had his career high in receptions, had huge yardage, had an unbelievable touchdown. This kid is finding his way, and in part because Jacoby Brissett is helping lead him there. Can he continue to do that? Can he build a rapport with Trey McBride? And continue to find him? Can he throw efficiently and effectively the rest of the way? Because the Arizona Cardinals are going to depend on him to determine whether they're going to be a dark horse and a team that can upset the balance in the NFC West, or if they're again just playing for draft positioning and who could be the next guy to take that mantle from Jacoby Brissett. A lot rides on Sunday's game. Because there's a huge difference in the NFL between 4-5 and 3-6. Hopes remain at 4-5. The race to the cellar starts at 3-6. And it's not easy. I mean, the Cardinals have not had success in Seattle. In fact, Kyler Murray hadn't won there since 2020. They're up against a formidable foe, a defense that's going to put all sorts of pressure on that offensive line. And guess what? The offensive line no longer has that safety valve of a quarterback who's going to run around and save their ass when things break down. Jacoby Brissett's going to stand there in the pocket and take the hit and try to make the pass. If he does run, it's going to be up the middle at the very last second. It's not going to be, oh no, there's pressure. Now, we've seen Jacoby Brissett take the punishment. Did it in Dallas on Monday. But there's no safety net anymore. Jacoby Brissett gets hurt. You're playing Slovis. Yeah, most of you don't even know his first name.
Keaton.
It is Keaton. Not exactly where you want to be. So that offensive line has to step up. The defense has to play like it did in Dallas, forcing turnovers, holding the Cowboys' offense, which was very good previous to that game, in check. Special teams can't have mistakes like a block punt. Who are the Arizona Cardinals? We've asked this question almost every week this season. And for the first time after that Dallas game, I think we're a little bit close to actually finding out. Sunday will say exactly who they are. Are they a team that has heart, enough talent to fight back and to make this season interesting? Or was it a mirage? Is this just fait accompli? Is it over? Is this team the team that we've seen lose so many close games? If Marvin Harrison Jr. is the guy we saw in Dallas, if Trey McBride continues to be the guy, if the running game with Bam Knight and Amari DiMercato can be serviceable like they were in Dallas, if that defense can continue to perform at a high level but not fold in the fourth, there's something here still. There's something interesting here still. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the bearded one, Kevo. Kevin, how are you, my friend?
Aloha. Salutations, everyone. Good morning.
You good?
Yeah, I'm great. You know it's always good, Espo, when you wear the same shirt 2 days in a row.
It is. It's like we just did this or something.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud you for braving the smells of my day 2 shirt in this, enclosed studio right now. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And also, like you said, I wanted to ask you this off top of the show. We're talking to the JV of the PHNX Cardinals crew here in a little bit. But this is something I've been talking about with Damon, once of PHNX Cardinals fame.
Roof, roof.
How does Kyler Murray's career move on from here? Because it felt like now, not only Kyler Murray, he's not like absolved of fault in all of this, but if your backup quarterback in any team, any level of the sport, is more suited for the offense than the guy that you've built the offense around, how is that not an indictment on the organization rather than the player? Because it feels like the stock of Kyler Murray has never been lower than it is right now today. And do you think that he can rebuild that stock? And do you think he could potentially do it with the Cardinals at all?
I don't think he's going to do it with the Cardinals. I think it's an indictment on both sides. Good coaches will adjust their system to the player. We've talked about it on this program. I think it's an indictment that this offense makes more sense with Jacoby Brissett than it does with Kyler Murray, because why were you not tailoring the offense to him? But Kyler is Kyler. I mean, we've seen who he is. We know he's injury prone. We know the limitations that he's going to have. And after 7 seasons, I don't think that's necessarily going to change. Do I think he can raise his stock and change things? Of course. I mean, look at Kurt Warner from the Giants to the Cardinals. Now, he obviously had a much better career in his first stop with St. Louis, but I think there are plenty of examples. I mean, heck, look at Sam Darnold. I mean, the guy that the Cardinals are playing this weekend. I mean, just there is an example of it. Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. I mean, that's another example. I think he certainly can find a place that better suits his skill set, that puts him in a position to win. I mean, that's certainly something he can do, and I think he can slowly build that stock back. I don't think it's going to be a quick fix for him, though. Where do you land on it?
That he's only 28, and that if Tim Tebow can go to the minors and play baseball and come back, so can Kyler.
I think that might be Act 3. I think if wherever he goes next, it's not a pleasant experience because, I think he totally could consider baseball.
If he ends up with the Jets, Espo, is there a worse, like, being the guy at the bar who's retired and someone walks up to you and goes, "Isn't that Kyler Murray who played for the Cardinals and the Jets?" Is there a worse duo, maybe outside of like Browns Jets or maybe Browns Lions from back in the day, than being the Cardinals Jets quarterback?
Yeah, I got one for you. Boomer Esiason was the Bengals, Jets, and Cardinals.
Oof.
All three of those. So, yeah, I think there is a worse. That just happens to be the worst. How you feeling about your boys down at U of A this weekend?
Hopefully we beat Kansas on Saturday, and if they do, they're going bowling. And I think that is a huge deal for Brent Brennan. It's a huge deal for Arizona football to have multiple games in hand. If you do beat Kansas and already have a bowl game in line, a lot on the line here on Saturday and Sunday for Arizona football in the state here.
We got our boy Johnny Venerable joining us in just a second, but I got to get to my winners of the week real quick here. You know how we do it. It's bronze, silver, and copper because this is Arizona, and gold isn't the king. It's copper. That's king. And our bronze this week are the owners of property in Kaminsky Cove because Frank Kaminsky is back. No, he's not playing for the Suns, but he's a broadcaster with the Valley Suns, and friend of the program, Frank Kaminsky, I think is going to be an unbelievable broadcaster. I'm looking forward to watching him on there. He was named the other day as a broadcaster for the Valley Suns. Silver, Jacoby Brissett. The man is now a starting quarterback in the NFL again with a chance to prove that maybe that's a spot he should hold at least through next year with the Arizona Cardinals. So tips the cap to Jacoby after pulling off an unbelievable win in Dallas, another third straight really solid performance for the starting quarterback, doing things that we haven't seen since Carson Palmer was under center for the Cardinals. But the copper is Devin Booker. Not only because of the way he has played, the numbers he's put up, the fact that he is a serious MVP contender if this Suns team can stay in the play-in race, but also because he gets Jalen Green. He got Jalen Green back, and that makes it so much easier on him from an offensive standpoint and a load standpoint in general. So, Devin Booker, you are our winner of the week with the copper. Right after this, the best, the brightest, the funniest, the best-looking Cardinals analyst wasn't available. Bo's busy. So we got Johnny Venerable joining us right after this. The husband and wife law team, the husband and wife law team, is the group that you want if you're in an accident or get seriously injured, because the lawyer you hire matters. And Mark and Alexis Breyer are the husband and wife law team, and they are prepared to take care of what you need when it comes to your case, because Phoenix is their home where they raise their 8 children and where the focus is always client results and giving back to the community that's important to them. Let's face it, after a serious injury, you want to hire an attorney that's focused on the best outcome for you and not how much money the firm's going to make. And that's what the husband and wife law team do. The team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience. You don't want some fly-by-night group that doesn't have experience. The husband and wife law team has it, and they have multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death cases. So you want to be there with a practice that's 100% dedicated to injury and wrongful death, experienced and specialized, and equipped with the expertise to handle every aspect of your case. I had an accident. I got a lawyer, and he was unprepared, unorganized, and made the experience one of the worst I've ever gone through, on top of the injury and all the hassle I had to go with through my injury and my car issues. So I highly recommend you call our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team today if you've had a serious injury. You can call them at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. Got to tell you about our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. If you want an opportunity to meet the great Johnny Venerable and his partner Bo Brock, you can do it this weekend at Gila River Resorts Wild Horse Pass, as they're going to have a watch along for the watch party for the Seahawks game, and you're going to want to be out there because there's nothing better than Wild Horse Pass and their other three locations, Lone Butte, Vequiva, Santan Mountain, because they have the best that the Valley has to offer. You can lounge at one of their AAA four diamond resorts and let relaxation take charge with unbeatable desert mountain views. AAA four diamond resort is tough for me to say. You can get 4,500 slots and live game tables that you can play, as well as catching all the action at the state's largest sports book. So go there, enjoy some food, enjoy a good time. Join Johnny and Bo this Sunday. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. I promised you him. He is here. It is Johnny Venerable. Johnny, how does it feel to be the second most important member of PHNX Cardinals?
I should have walked out after that intro about 5 minutes ago, but here I am reluctantly. It's that's fine. It's a season of backups here. Kyler Murray, Bo, I'm the backup. Jacoby Brissett looking pretty good.
Look, we know it's your show. I just have to give Bo a little glow every once in a while.
He needs it.
Johnny, how do you feel after everything that's gone on? Obviously, Kyler winds up on the IR. Jacoby is officially the starting quarterback for the Cardinals. Where are you with how this all netted out?
I can't believe we're here on November 6th, and it would take a very specific set of circumstances for this to happen, and it did. I don't think anybody envisioned this season going this way, both on and off the field. And, you know, anytime that you're a player being paid a lot of money and you feel like there are some heightened expectations, and then maybe you're not meeting those expectations or you're fine, right? I think Kyler Murray was playing okay to good. Certainly wasn't playing great. I think he would even say that. When you, in a pivotal year, leave the field because of injury, you become susceptible to being replaced. And we talked about it before the season. Like, he needed to play well. Everybody knew it. Consistency, part of that is being available for 17 games. So that's already a box that was not checked. And then you couple that, this is what makes it worse for him. Jacoby Brissett comes in and plays much better, like dramatically better. A touchdown more per game, 100 yards plus more passing per game. I mean, and this is an offense that doesn't have James Conner or Trey Benson. They can't really run the football that effectively. Like, it just looks way better. And so now you're in a position where the people that are running the Cardinals didn't draft you, love you. I mean, Jonathan Gannon loves Kyler Murray. Monty Ossenford, rolled with him into this season, but it was a perfect storm domino effect. I've been of the mindset, like, they would have played him all 17 games if he was healthy. Like, this was a temporary health absence that now has become a soft benching because Jacoby Brissett was undeniable, and the Cardinals are benefiting from the 32-year-old's play. That's exactly what's happening.
Have we seen the last of Kyler in a Cardinals uniform? Because this certainly feels like it's finally the saga has come to an end.
Yeah, he'll never play for them again. Assuming that, like, this is what's funny. People are like, well, he could come in at the end of the year. Jacoby Brissett goes down. Guess who's playing? Like Jeff Driscoll, who they just signed to their practice squad. Kyler Murray is out like a minimum 4 weeks anyway. I think barring a Jacoby Brissett, like, it would have to be a very specific set of circumstances where Jacoby goes down, they're firmly in the playoff race, and they need a better quarterback than Jeff Driscoll and Keaton Slovis. But, I mean, what's the percentage of that going to happen? Like, maybe like 1%. If Jacoby Brissett's healthy, he's playing the rest of the year. So I don't expect Kyler Murray to come off of injured reserve. I expect the Cardinals to be tongue-in-cheek with how they talk about his recovery. And Gannon, you've already seen it, loves to do the very kind of coach speak hypotheticals with guys who are injured. We're not going to get a whole lot. What I can tell you is like Kyler's foot injury was real, and he felt it. But at the same time, like I don't think anybody would argue like he could play this weekend. He could have played last week, right? I think this is a scenario in which the team and Kyler Murray and his people, everybody involved, I think collectively are just like, let's have a fresh start in January. By the way, like we're going to fast forward to January, assuming this regime is retained, and they're going to say like, hey, we were excited about Kyler being a part of this team, but which we all know is not true. Like this is all happenstance. This is all premeditated to eventually try to move him in his contract before the league year.
How's your health bucket?
My health bucket, it's fine. It's it's about as good as a 37-year-old can be here. Highly caffeinated, highly disappointed with this season. What about you? How's your health bucket?
It's empty. It's completely empty. If there were a podcast or IR, I probably would have been on it 2 weeks ago, but instead, I just truck along and make it happen. That was one of my favorite terms that have come out of a press conference recently was health bucket. It just stood out to me. So
I like it. I mean, Gannon's one of one with those Gannonisms.
Pew pew, lasers, explosives.
Yes, there's a lot of the explosives have finally arrived. It only took us 3 years to get the explosives. How about it? Only took a coaching change or a quarterback change. I think both Gannon and Austin Ford are safe. I think Michael Bidwell does not want to go into the offseason. You didn't ask me this. I'm just going to tell you my opinion on it. They don't want to go in the offseason.
It's your show. I'm just here, so don't worry. Go ahead, right. Johnny.
They're not going to fire Jonathan Gannon or Monty Austin Ford. They would have to lose out. I mean, I think Monday bought them a lot of cachet. The defense has to continue to ascend, and Walter Nolen, that was something special. But Michael Bidwell, he's got big plans for them. I think Monty Austin Ford, Gannon, it's tough because the win-loss record is tough. I think Austin Ford's got a lot of things trending in his direction right now. The 2023 draft, 2025 draft. If Marv can be salvaged right now, that feels like all that matters from 2024. The free agent signings of Josh Sweat, which had JG's influence, like they're pressing some right buttons here. They are going to be viewed, I think, by a lot of people, even in this division, as a team next year that's ready to win with a lot of good young ascending talent. And there's going to be one glaring question. Who's playing quarterback? Where are they going to get a quarterback? Can they do this on the fly? So we'll see. But like the Cardinals have a better roster than the Dallas Cowboys. Like that was evident on Monday night. They have a better roster than a lot of the teams they played. They have to find a way, I think, to get to about 7 or 8 wins to feel really comfortable going into this offseason.
They make a mistake not drafting a quarterback one of the last 2 years to really try to see if they could find something. I know they had Clayton Tune, but I think it was pretty obvious he wasn't the guy. So
yeah, I think you could make that case. They were never really in a position to do that. The best quarterback 2 years ago, Stroud, was not available when they picked, and they ended up getting what I think is going to be an all-pro caliber player in Paris Johnson. There hasn't been like second, third round quarterbacks that have emerged. 2024's quarterback class. I think, listen, they were picking top 4. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams were all gone. And again, what goes without saying is like the Kyler Murray contract had just kicked in. Like people see like Tua and Kyler and put them in the same bucket. There's that term again. But like Tua's contract hasn't even kicked in yet. Kyler's contract's basically a 1-year deal. It's very expensive. It's bloated in 2026, but that's it. I mean, we've lived through the majority of it. And so the Cardinals and Gannon and Austin Ford put on a brave face and said, we're going to try to win with K1. The biggest, I think, knock on them is, Drew Petzing, Kyler Murray. I think the writing was on the wall last year that it wasn't a good fit at the end of the year, even though they were preached continuity. And then you fast forward to the offseason, well, Seattle with Geno Smith and their play caller felt that way, so they got rid of both of them. Like, if the Cardinals had done that, I think they would probably be better off. But, like, could they have gotten Sam Darnold? Probably not. Sam Darnold go to a more stable, better organization in Seattle. Like, Is there going to be a Darnold to get this offseason? I think we're all on bated breath. If Jacoby can keep this up, you go Jacoby Brissett. He's under contract. He's going to be on the team anyway. And then sniff around free agency, depending on what you get for Kyler, if you can trade him. But the most, rational thought is they need to draft a quarterback this year. And even if they, quote unquote, overdraft one, that's the roster's going to be ready to win. So I think you never want to force it, Espo. And I wouldn't give up a huge package for any of these guys right now. But a lot of it's going to depend on where they're picking, how many games they win at the end. What does Jacoby Brissett look like? If he's bad, it's going to take care of itself, because then they're going to be back firmly in the top 5 to 7, picking this draft.
You heard it here first. Johnny Venerable doesn't want to use a huge package. How do we look at Sunday in the Seahawks game? Do you feel that there's an actual opportunity for this Cardinals team to surprise yet again and get themselves back in potentially the NFC picture? Or do you feel like this might just be kind of the final dance for them?
I think there's a realistic chance that they win this game. I know you love the do factor. Gannon's never beaten Seattle, even that last year or two with Pete Carroll. He's been close, but this is the team that Kyler Murray has had the toughest time with because of, Espo, the interior pressure that guys like Leonard Williams present. So like Jacoby's not susceptible to that, but it's not nearly as big of an issue as it is for Kyler. You can throw on them. Baker Mayfield showed that. And the Shaheed acquisition is fine. I mean, I'm not super concerned about that, at least for a week. I think whoever scores 24 points can win this game. I would expect Jacoby Brissett to continue to play well. The biggest issue is going to be, can they stop the run with Kenneth Walker and company, and can they generate enough of a run to continue to work off that play action? They work play action 60% of the time against the Cowboys, most in the NFL. That's what they want to do. So they have to be able to move people around. Jonah Williams is a huge problem, I suppose you saw firsthand during our watch along last week. So I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win yet, but like the line kind of trending toward Arizona. It's 6.5. I've seen some places have it at 6. Could it be under 6 by the time kickoff starts? Like, what are we going to get from this defense? If you're telling me we get a similar performance defensively that we just got, and Dallas's offense, I think, is better than Seattle. I like this game to be close.
Is Walter Nolen going to give us a repeat performance? I mean, that was more than I expected in game 1. Came out and looked all like everything we've heard about his talent. Is that repeatable in week 2 for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's rested, right? He's well rested. There's no rookie wall this year because he's only going to play half the games. That was the best debut of a Cardinal defender of my adult life, probably. Like Patrick Peterson is a rookie, great punt returner, not a great corner. They've never drafted particularly well on the defensive line. Darrell Washington, like second-round linebacker at TCU, had moments right away. We're like, oh, yeah, that guy can play. The Cardinals have been waiting for this for seemingly forever. It's why they signed J.J. Watt. It's why they brought back Calais Campbell. It's like that position has been a little bit of a black hole for this franchise. So, listen, it's just one game. I'm guilty of overreacting like everybody else, but I do think that he possesses the kind of physical skill set to really thrive in this defense. I felt like Monday was the first time in a while where that's the kind of defense they want to run. Jonathan Gannon, Nick Rallis, pressure without blitzing, and then having the innate ability to force turnovers like they did. And they probably could have had 1 to 2 more on top of that. They need him to be special. And if he's special, then guess what? That makes everybody else around him, the Dalvin Tomlinsons, Calais, Josh Sweat, everybody else, just their game goes up, a letter grade. Sweat in particular, I think at least one of his sacks came off the fact that Nolan had a double team, was pushing the pocket. So it's not just what he's doing on the stat sheet. That has not existed here in forever. So it's got to stay healthy. But, man, I mean, he should have gone top 10. The Cardinals, for once, are a benefactor of other teams kind of outthinking this. I'm looking at the Bears. I'm looking at the Cowboys, maybe the 49ers. We'll see. If he can keep this up, he's going to be, like at the end of the year, like just flat out one of the best players on their team.
Honestly, when you were talking, I couldn't help but think of Andre Wadsworth, and that is not a name that I I want to think about in those dark days. Johnny, thank you so much. You can follow him at Johnny Venerable. You can watch him on PHNX Cardinals today at 4:30. Then you can catch him on Sunday halftime, post game. They're going to have you covered for the entire day out there at Gila. Thanks, Johnny.
See you, my guy.
That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. A big thank you to Kevo behind the Mac. You can follow my Kevo posts. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Espo. And you know what? We're all working for the weekend. Actually, I'll be working this weekend on PHNX on Saturday. Ahoy, hoy!
We all silly like the mayor.